Picture this for a second. You're an employee at a major firm, and you're so good at what you do that your bosses simply refuse to lose you. But instead of just offering you a raise, they give you something else entirely. They give you the authority to decide which of your colleagues get fired. They grant you direct influence over who the company hires next. And to top it all off, the president of the country personally calls your cell to ask you to stay in your office. It sounds completely surreal, like a script from some high-stakes financial thriller. But in the world of football, this is exactly what happened. In 2022, Kylian Mbappé didn't just sign a new contract with Paris Saint-Germain. That day, the power structure of the entire club, and perhaps the modern game itself, was fundamentally rewritten. You see, football has always had a set of unwritten rules where clubs like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, or Manchester United were always bigger than their brightest stars. They are institutions that survive generations, while players merely come and go because the system remains absolute. But in Paris, that principle suddenly vanished. We have to realize that Paris Saint-Germain isn't a traditional club. It's a state-backed project and a tool for global influence. Qatar sports investments didn't enter football for the trophies. They entered it for attention and power. But there's one fundamental problem that even the deepest pockets in the world can't solve: history. You simply cannot buy it. In 2022, these two realities collided head-on because Mbappe's contract was expiring, Real Madrid was ready to take him, and everything was moving ruthlessly toward his departure. For Qatar, this wouldn't just be a sporting loss. It would be a signal to the world that even their unlimited capital has its limits. And that is the exact moment the real game began. At the time, Mbappé wasn't just a world-class striker, he was the most valuable asset in modern football. Young, global, unstoppable, and most importantly, he knew it. His journey didn't start in a luxury boardroom, but in the gritty suburbs of Paris, in Bondy, where he learned very early on that talent alone isn't enough to reach the top. The real key is control. By the time 2022 rolled around, he held immense leverage, and PSG knew it. On one side stood Real Madrid with its history and a system that will turn you into an immortal legend, but will never give you power over the organization. On the other side was Qatar, with capital without limit and a willingness to rewrite the rulebook. What followed was a negotiation unlike anything the sport had ever seen. It wasn't about salary or bonuses, it was about pure power. Mbappé didn't just gain money, he gained a seat at the table of sporting decisions and the ability to dictate the club's direction. This was no longer a contract extension, it was a total restructuring, where PSG stopped acting like a team and started functioning as a system optimized for a single asset. Suddenly, titans like Neymar or Messi were merely temporary variables, while Mbappé became the only constant to which everyone else had to adapt. It went so far that geopolitics entered the frame, with President Macron acting not as a fan, but as a representative of a nation for which Mbappé was both a national tool and the architect of a new era. But here is the moment most people missed at the time. You might think Mbappé took control of PSG, but the truth is far more complex. He didn't take the club. PSG had to surrender that power to him, because they had no other way to save face. But by doing so, they created a system that was inherently unsustainable. The moment a club begins to orbit around a single individual, it stops breathing as a team, a reality that quickly manifested through locker room tension, total instability, and repeated failures in the Champions League. Mbappé may have gained everything imaginable: unprecedented wealth, absolute influence, and control, and yet the most important thing was missing: true victory and that genuine sporting immortality. Real Madrid, meanwhile, kept winning and building their history without him, proving the harshest truth of this story. You can control a club and dictate your terms, but you can never buy true historical significance. In the end, Mbappé didn't conquer PSG. He simply acquired power that the club could not survive. So there's one fundamental question left for you. Was Kylian Mbappé a genius strategist who simply understood the modern system and exploited it to the max? Or were we witnessing the beginning of something very dangerous? Because if players start to gain this kind of control over institutions, the game as we know it might soon cease to exist. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this has long stopped being a story about one talented kid. It's a direct preview of the future of the sport. And if you want to truly understand what's happening behind the curtain in football, follow this channel. I'm Marcus, and this is Football Fortune.